Okay, dear Dhamma friends, we have come to the last question and answer session of this Kalalgoda English Medium retreat. So as usual, I invite to present with the written questions.
Most Venerable Sir, today we have a total of 8 questions, out of which 7 are all meditation experiences and 1 question on Dhamma.
Yeah.
Venerable Bhante, when I practice Anapanasati, the breath becomes softer and stops for a little while. I do not know what to do. When I swallow, the breath returns. This happens again and again. Is there something I should do when the breath stops? Please advise. Much merit to you.
Yeah, actually we don't need to do anything. So when breath stops, that indicates that your mind has fairly now calmed down. Similarly, breath also has calmed down. So if you know the theory, so say if we refer Anapanasati Sutta, there Buddha says first Digang va asasanto digang asasamiti pajanati, then Rassang va asasanto rassang asasamiti pajanati. Digang va asasanto means first that say you experience that the breath is long and then the breath is short, and actually this can interchange, either the breath is short or breath is long. So likewise your mindfulness improves, and so you are in a position to understand now when compared to the previous in-breath, the present in-breath is longer or shorter. When compared to the previous out-breath, the present out-breath is either longer or shorter. So this is a kind of a improvement in your mindfulness. So after that, Buddha says we need to look at the complete cycle of in-breath and complete cycle of out-breath. Sabbakaya patisangvedi asasisamiti sikkati. So this is how we are training ourselves. So we are not doing any kind of a forced breathing. Rather, we are paying more closer attention towards the breath. Now we forget about everything and then just the closer attention to occurring ongoing breath, and then we are able to understand the beginning, the middle and the end. So after that, the fourth part, Buddha says passambayankaya sankharang asasisamiti sikkati, where we understand now the breath is calming down. So it appears like breath has stopped. So that is how we perceive. It appears like now completely breath has calmed down, we are in a well relaxed position, appears like no breath at all. So this is a good sign that we have reached fair amount of concentration. On one side, I can say that if you are maintaining your attention at the nostril without getting sort of panicked, then breath might appear again. So let it happen like that. So again let it happen, let it appear, and then again you are being aware of the breath, and again it will calm down. Again it very much like you can't feel breath at all, then again it will appear. So likewise this cycle may repeat for a while, and ultimately you feel like there is nothing there, but still you can maintain your attention at the nostril. So some yogis actually go directly with Anapanasati, and after this calming down, after this complete peace occurs, so they feel really say happy, kind of light body and some joy arising, and you feel like you are floating, and these kind of effects can happen. So this indicates that you can further proceed with Anapanasati. On such situation, if such thing happen, what you have to do is we can simply look at this joy, this kind of bliss, this kind of happiness as a part of Vedana, part of feeling. So that is where Piti patisangvedi asasisamiti sikkati, Sukha patisangvedi asasisamiti sikkati, where we understand now previously there was no such joy, such happiness. Right now there's a new kind of a joy, inner joy is there, new kind of a inner happiness is there. So you simply go out of that happiness, or you go out of that experience and look at that happiness objectively. You are not sort of doing anything to prolong that happiness or that joy. Rather you understand it's a kind of a causal thing, it's a kind of a conditioned thing. Now it is available, by the way. Now so you objectively look at it. So then it becomes type of a Vedanānupassana. So you can proceed in this way. Suppose a particular yogi simply maintaining your breath at the nostril and it also has disappeared, and you are staying for say 15 minutes, 30 minutes, nothing happened. On such situation, if you can maintain this mindfulness, if you can maintain this kind of a concentration for fairly long time, say 30 minutes, so that indicates that you have fair amount of concentration already built up. Now you can pay your attention to the whole body. The body has mainly various sensations, and you can pay your attention to various sensations. To begin with, you can pay your attention to the touching points. Say you have touching points at your arms, maybe at the legs, maybe at the buttocks. So like that, there are different touching points, and you can check whether you can feel these touching points. The point is that we have built up kind of a concentration at the nostril. Now we are using it to observe various sensations available in the body. So we are turning towards the vipassana. So these two approaches one can take. So it depends on how you are progressing. So if you are really now, after calming down of the breath, if you feel really light, happy, joyful, then you can look at that angle. Or else if you are simply continuing without such thing, but rather maintaining your concentration at the nostril, then you can purposely bring your attention to touching points and turn towards vipassana. So both are possible. Yeah.
Venerable Bhante, if a yogi gets unusual sensations in the body, Dhatu Guna, after several months of walking meditation, it was told that he has achieved Passambayang Kaya Sankarang. After that, does he have to do Anapanasati, sitting meditation, to attain Satipatthana?
So
Thero Saranai.
Yeah, the other way around. So when you are involved with Anapanasati, if your breath calms down, so then you have achieved Passambayang Kaya Sankhara. So the Kaya Sankhara is the breath actually. So if you refer Chula Vedala Sutta, there are Venerable Dhammadinna, Arahant Dhammadinna, Bhikkhuni, she is explained very beautifully, very clearly to Visakha what is Kaya Sankharang. Kaya Sankharang is nothing but in-breath and out-breath. So Passambayang Kaya Sankharang means that when you are involved with Anapanasati meditation, so your breath calms down. Once your breath calms down, and if you can maintain that developed concentration at the nostril, then you are eligible to start with vipassana, to see the various sensations, and then you are basically starting vipassana part. So what you have understood is the opposite. So on the other hand, so when I am telling that sensations you can observe, sometimes these sensations may not be very predominant, very clear, but you have to be, that's why I am telling you to start with the touching points, because you are very sure that they are present anyway. Now when you are, even without any kind of concentration, when your hands are resting like this, so definitely you have some kind of a feeling, either a hot feeling or either weight of the one hand, you can easily feel. So like that, so these are already available sensations in your body, you can start to look at. And later on, as you are proficient in it, then even very, very subtle sensations you are able to observe. And remember that when you start to do that, your mind again drift back to this nostril, because it is used to stay there. So you have to purposely again bring your attention to this new place. Again it might drift, again bring your attention to this new place. So likewise, this is a kind of a training that you need to train the mind where you want to position it. So at the beginning we are positioning it at the nostril, and we are building up fair amount of concentration. After building up of the concentration, that concentration has to be able to use throughout the body without any resistance. So this is some kind of a skill we need to develop. Yeah.
Venerable Bhante, walking meditation. I start with left, right, and then within a few minutes it automatically goes to the sensations. Could feel the softness, hardness of a rock, etc. After a while, even though the sensations are there, I feel like a robot. Feel sleepy and then I stop at the end of the path. Just stand still and the mind wanders and hear the birds singing, leaves rustling, etc. Then again I go back to my walking. I tried walking on all three surfaces, the tile, choir mat and sand. As instructed by Bhante to another yogi on a question and answer session, I started walking faster. When I walk faster, I look further ahead than when I am walking slow. Is there a stipulated distance that I have to focus? Bhante, for your guidance, much merit.
Yeah, typically when we are walking, we have to look at kind of a distance which is more convenient to your eyes. Now, if you are looking at far away, far distance, then it is still more distraction. If you are looking very, very close distance, then you have to bend your head. So that is also difficult. So while keeping your head straight, just having a kind of a convenient eye contact with the floor, and that is the distance. Typically it is, I think, around 5 feet or something. So something like 5 feet, 5 feet, 3 feet or something. So it is up to you. And again, just an advice. So if you are starting with say left and right, and then smoothly getting to feel various sensations, and at that time you have to stop left and right. I think you are doing like that. And then you are simply observing these various sensations with a calm mind, with a silent mind. At that time it is true that you are fully with that sensations, and even after a while you might feel like the body is simply walking like a robot and you are simply watching. So that is what you have experienced. So that's a gradual progress happen within your walking session. So if it happens, so at the end, so don't try to push your mind back to the sensation. So at this point, the sensations are like distance, not very much with you. So you are now a distance observer. You have become a distance observer, and sensations are there, but mind is not grasping them. Mind is not really going inside them. So at that time, don't force your mind to go inside those sensations. And let it, you simply relax yourself. In a gentle walk, you continue while allowing mind to kind of experience some rest. So only thing is, at this time your mind might wander, because right now there is no kind of a anchoring point for the mind, because at the beginning we forcefully tell, okay, this is left, this is right, this is left, this is right. So we are forcing the mind to be with that. Later on we are forcing the mind to be with various sensations. But right now mind is well relaxed. Mind has no kind of a grasp of any object. There are no objects, but it's somewhat relaxed. So there's a possibility that your mind might wander. So this is an exercise again. So how you are maintaining this kind of relaxed say posture, relaxed walking, even without allowing mind to wander. So if you are now doing something artificial, okay, you move fast or you sometimes move backward, so all these are actually distractions. So you have to go through the proper cycle. So you need to understand how the growth happens. So if you are purposefully distracting yourself so that to keep your attention steady, keep your attention very strict, so then it is not the way. So you have to allow your mind to relax, allow your mind to less tensed, less grasping, and still maintaining some composed attention, kind of a peaceful attention, without allowing it to wander, without allowing it to go and start stories, still maintaining the posture. So this is a kind of exercise. Yeah.
Bhante, this is the same yogi's experience on sitting meditation.
Yeah.
Venerable Bhante, sitting meditation. My primary object is Anapanasati. I start with concentrating on my stomach and shortly goes to breath. Some time back, I was able to observe the entire breath, the beginning, middle and the end. Since of late the breath has become short and it completely disappears. When that happens, the body feels like a wave has come from head to toe and recedes away, relaxing the body entirely. When this happens, I see a bluish grey, the color of dawn, and feel nothing. I know I am not dead, not sleeping, not fainted, and know that I am there. I get something like a slight sob because my mind is searching for an object to focus on. At this time, I see the breath like a small tiny stream and gets thinner and disappears. Then I feel a wide space like I am the only one in the world. It's wonderful feeling. When this happens, how should I proceed? I am there but not there. Please advise how to proceed. Theruvan Saranai.
So one way is that now you are experiencing some kind of a light and it is there, and still you have some perception about the breath, and you are in a kind of a transition. So continue to be with breath. So don't look at that light. Still it is not yet powerful enough. So still continue with breath. So at a time, more and more you are focusing your attention at the nostril and being with the breath. So this light can come and somewhat become stabilized, and even can become much brighter. And more you have to build up kind of confidence. Okay, even a next session, again this light comes and you are continuing with the breath, and again it stabilizes, and again in the next session again it comes. So you may experience now in the previous session, say it took about 45 minutes to this happen. Next session, say it happened within 30 minutes. Next session, let it happen, if suppose it has happened within 15 minutes. So this is a kind of an indication that you are progressing, because this sign which appears is an indication that you are developing concentration. So now there are a few paths. So you can experience some deep concentration also by going through this practice. So what you have to do is simply maintain your attention at the nostril, and you are simply looking at the breath, and breath and this sign can merge. So they are now very much together. So when you are looking at the breath, the sign is also there, the light is also there. So you have no other object at all. You are fully with that, fully with breath and fully with light, both are together now. And that time you can automatically, actually your attention automatically switch to this sign, this the light. You can simply watch this light and forget about breath and simply be with it. So it's just being. So you have nothing to do. Now you have kind of a stationary object, not moving. Unlike breath has some dynamic nature, but this light has some stationary kind of nature. So you simply have to look at it. With softly, gently you are looking at it. And probably you can look at the center of it. If you are doing like that, very gently, very softly, and in a given time, you may get absorbed to it. It may embrace you. So this, if it happen, just be there and don't do anything. Don't think anything. Just be there. So it's a kind of a blissful experience, and you can just be there. So like yesterday's question that another yogi who raised, so she has experienced this kind of thing, and one disadvantage is if it is happening again and again, and you are actually at the beginning, you don't know when you are coming out of it, because the length of staying in that experience depends on how much strength, how much concentration you have built up before you are entering it. So if suppose you are properly building up the strength, concentration, and you are well balanced, and suppose you immersed in it and you don't know how long stay in there, and after a while you may anyway emerge from it. So it's a kind of a practice you need to do. And sometimes what happens is we like this. We like to stay there longer and longer, and we feel that this is the meditation. So this is the meditation. So every time we go there, we go into it and we stay there. Next day also do the same thing. Next day also do the same thing. So we are in a way that is called typically nikanti. Nikanti is kind of an attachment. So now you are very much grasped or attached to this experience. So this is a hindrance actually. So when this is happening, so it has some kind of a repercussions. So one thing is that you are only developing concentration. So that's what has happened yesterday. So when you are doing it for several, say many years, for example, then your mind becomes refined, very concentrated, very refined, and you can't bear even little thing. And again you can't bear certain, when defilement comes, say when lust arises, it go to the intense level. When anger arises, it goes to the intense level. So it's very dangerous. So that's why when you are coming out of this, you need to do little vipassana. Then you are doing some kind of a balance. Otherwise you are only growing only one branch. So you need to remember that. So how to do vipassana after emerging from this kind of a concentration? So that is also Buddha has mentioned. So suppose you go into this kind of experience, this kind of blissful concentration, and suppose you don't know how long you were there and you came out. Once you came out, you need to see, now there was some kind of a blissful feeling. Now what has happened to it? Now it is fading away. It was there, it was intense, and now it is fading away. Now you have to see this feeling, see this bliss objectively. Now you are doing Vedananupassana in a way. So simply observe, now you had some kind of a blissful, really happy, pleasurable feeling. Now it is fading away. Now it is really waning, waxing. And maybe your body was not felt at all. It's really light. Now different sensations start to appear, little pains start to appear, and they are rising and passing away. And actually remember, you are in a very good position to do vipassana, because you are in a fairly good concentration, and with this concentration you can beautifully do vipassana. So now you already have the prerequisite for vipassana. So, and if you are paying your attention to any kind of these sensations right now available in your body, you can stay there longer and observe it properly. Suppose you came out of this experience, this concentration, and then suppose you get a kind of a pain on your knee or whatever thing, and immediately look at that. Look at that, how it is changing, how it is somewhat painful, and it might shift to another place, how it is changing. And even you can shift your attention to rising and falling, because rising and falling is an ongoing process, and it does not take you to jhana or take you to any kind of absorption. Rather it will take you directly to the vipassana side. So therefore there are many approaches that you can take rather than simply enjoying this bliss. So if we are attached to that bliss and stay there for many years without turning your mind towards the other directions, then it is somewhat harmful. Yeah.
Bhante, this is the same yogi's experience, today's experience.
Yeah.
Venerable Bhante, today's sitting session, when I reach the calm and serene state, where I don't feel the breath or body, my mind was searching for an object, and I focused on the tip of the nose and felt a twitching on the right side of the face. Kept observing that thereafter. How do I proceed from here? Theruvan Saranai.
So basically, I think now the answer is clearest. Once you build up concentration through using Anapanasati, so that concentration has been used to observe these various sensations. So that's the point. So sensations might appear at various places. So how can we able to look at those sensations immediately? Say there's a kind of sensation building up at your knee, and if it is already gone when you are ready to watch it, then you have gone. I mean, you have missed that. Suppose you have put your attention to knee, but nothing is there. Still, then you are too early. So the kind of the trick is, when immediately it appears, you are ready. You are having kind of an open awareness throughout the body. immediately wherever it appears, you are there immediately. You are there immediately to watch it, to look at it. So that is the type of skill we need to develop. So once you have a fairly developed concentration, it is there with you. It is kind of a tool available for you, and wherever in the body sensation arise, just locate your concentration there and just observe what is happening in a silent mind. That's it. Yeah.
Venerable Bhante, I have been meditating for some time now. Some days I can focus very well. Sometimes I cannot focus on my breath at all. Thoughts keep coming in between. Thoughts keep coming in. In between the thoughts, I can focus on my breath and I feel my breath is calm. But only issue is I cannot continuously focus on the breath at times. I have tried walking meditation a lot those days, but no good results have come out. Please advise. Theruvan Saranai.
May I know, when you are telling sometimes, so what is the time period? May I know whose question? So when you say, okay, I am meditating for some time, is it 1 month or 1 year or 1 week? Sometime is a general term. So actually there is no shortcut. So there is no injection type of thing to improve the concentration. So you simply have to continue. So if you, on the other hand, you need to see that your meditation experience also vary. You don't expect the same intensity available today and same in the tomorrow session as well. It may not happen. So if you succeeded today to your complete satisfaction, tomorrow will be utter failure. So that is also possible. That is the way it is. So you can't control it. In one sense, it is due to various causes. Our desire is one thing. We may want to control our meditation in a particular direction, but our desire is only one condition. But there are various other causes helping to build up the energy. So if any of those causes are not present, we can't experience what we have experienced yesterday. So only thing is we have to continue practice. So yesterday, suppose you had fair amount of good experience as per your terms. Today also you continue. Suppose today is a failure, but tomorrow also continue. Day after tomorrow also continue. So there are even, actually I have seen some teachers are telling, there is nothing called bad meditation. Every day, even you, according to your assessment, it is a really bad meditation, still you are growing something. It is not kind of a blissful experience that you felt today giving you the strength. It is just a kind of a chocolate. You can't have chocolate every day. So and it will lead to, what is that? Diabetics. Yeah. So don't worry about the not experiencing kind of a real bliss type of thing that you, even though that was your wish. Even if you are maintaining some kind of a equanimous attitude, whatever the things are appearing, even without going to any kind of bliss, so that is more than enough. If you simply see that things are arising, things are changing, they are passing away, then another place they are coming, they are disappearing, they are passing away, that's more than enough. So this is a kind of a education, that you are educating your mind. So it takes time. So give enough time. So don't be in a rush to educate this young child. So he takes many years to learn. So have patience. Yeah.
Most Venerable Bhante, this is my sitting meditation experience after your advice last month. I sit comfortably and bring my mind to the sitting position, and in a few minutes I notice the breath. I continue watching my breath for about 15 minutes and my mind is fairly concentrated. Then I focus my attention to the body. When I focus my attention to the body, there are so many things happening, such as pain in my knee, tingling sensation in the face and sometimes cold vibration all over the body. From these sensations, I focus my attention to the most prominent sensation. Soon another sensation becomes the most prominent and I change the focus to that sensation then. This continues till the meditation session ends for about 45 minutes. I find this very interesting and could go on for longer. Venerable Bhante, for your comments and advice. Am I in the right path? Please advise. Theruvan Saranai.
Yeah, you are in the right path, and so please continue. So if you can maintain more than 45 minutes, still nothing to worry, because already raw material is available, your machine is ready, so keep doing it, keep work hard, because at this time it need fair amount of work, fair amount of involvement. I mean, this does not grow merely by imagination or merely by intellectual understanding or book reading. It is not helping. Simply you need to continue, simply you need to practice. So that is why Buddha says, Samudaya Dhammanupasseva Kayasmin Viharati. Vaya Dhammanupasseva Kayasmin Viharati. Viharati. That term Viharati, Vase Kanno. Say you are living with it, you are staying with it for a longer time. It may not give immediate results. So therefore, please patiently look at what is happening. As again I am telling, it's a type of education. You have to educate the mind. You are giving one object and observing what is happening to that. Then another object is available, you are watching what is happening to that. Another object is available, you are watching what is happening to that. Suppose in a particular time, you came very well face to face with an object. So this kind of well balancing happens rarely. So sometimes you are too early, sometimes you are too late, sometimes you are not well balanced. So only rarely you perfectly in sync with the object. At that time, don't go to the next object. So don't go to the next object, just be with the present object, that well synced object, and see how it is completely fading away. And if it fades away totally, just be with it, if possible, without introducing or without going to the other object. So this time to time might happen, and you can do that. Yeah.
That's the end of the experiences question. There's a general question. Can I present it?
Yes.
This is a general question, Most Venerable Sir. 1. I understand that the method in path of purification, Visuddhimagga, is 1. Develop and master jhana using several objects and discern nama rupa in past lives and future lives. 2. After that, develop vipassana knowledge, then yogi is almost sure to attain magga phala. There's another question. But I was told that it is extremely difficult to attain jhana at the present time because the environment is not suitable now. Venerable Sir, please advise us. What can the yogi do to attain jhana? How can the yogi attain magga phala with only access level samatha? May the triple gem protect you always.
Yeah, actually I'll tell few things. Now one thing is, like yesterday we discussed, having jhana to develop vipassana is not a must. So that is, we need to be clear enough. So if you refer Mahasi tradition, so one breakthrough that Mahasi Sayadaw has revealed, it is not his own finding, but he emphasized the fact. So jhanas are not a must, but if you have enough, at least access concentration, it's a matter of you use that attention, use that concentration to observe various phenomena, sankhara, and see what is really happening. So this is seeing things as they truly are. So there may be different types of sankhara, either sensations, bodily sensations, the various element characteristics, or various types of feelings, either pleasurable feelings, painful feelings, neutral feelings, or various types of mentalities, maybe lustful thoughts, maybe angry thoughts, deluding thoughts. Maybe even you go deeper, how even lust arising, how it is prevailing, how it is going away, how anger rising, how it is staying, how it is going away. So different aspects are there. So all these actually are type of raw material for vipassana. So how are we going to watch these things? You can't immediately watch them unless you have fair amount of mindfulness. So we need to develop mindfulness, and as we develop mindfulness, so you come into a position that you are not trapped in the past and the future, and you are able to maintain your attention in the present moment. As a result, you are developing fair amount of concentration as well. As you progress, your mind come to a state that you can maintain your attention in a particular object for a fairly long time. So that is necessary as a kind of a prerequisite for vipassana. So once you build up that capability, then you are ready for vipassana, and then you are using that attention, using that concentration to observe. So like I have explained few minutes ago. So jhanas are another subject where you are building up a very high, very deep concentration in a way which help you to maintain long observation on a particular object later on in vipassana. So that is the advantage. Suppose one has jhana experience, so he may be in the deep concentration for 1 hour, for example. And if he has that kind of a build up concentration, build up kind of a attitude, then when he is turning his mind towards the vipassana, so that skill already built up, that concentration, that ability to stay focused on one object for a long time is there with him, and he can use that capability, that skill for observing various phenomena. Say there's a feeling available, and you are simply forgetting about everything else. You are simply being with this feeling, and how this feeling starting, how it is changing, how it is disappearing, how another feeling starting, how it is changing, how it is disappearing. You have to maintain your attention at this particular feeling, forgetting about the whole world, and that helps. So actually that build up concentration through jhana helps. But the drawback is that people, as I said before, the jhanic experience are really blissful, and people attach to that. So they don't want to come out and do this observation. That is the bottleneck. So in Buddha's teaching, concentration is a kind of a type of a medicine. Say when you are sick, it is true that we need to get medicine. Without medicine also we can't get well. If you take overdose, then what will happen? So that is again, then you will get a new issues due to medicine. So it is like that. So this concentration is somewhat like that. So when you have already available concentration, then don't worry about building up further concentration, because the major teaching of the Buddha is the vipassana. Major teaching of him is that how we observe the things as they truly are, and then dispassionate from them, nibbida, and how then we be free from various types of defilements and purify the mind. So that is the kind of the crux of the teaching. So how one can purify one's mind. So concentration, mindfulness, faith, likewise there are different conditions supporting for this process. So once you have different levels available, it's a matter of putting them together and working out. So Visuddhimagga, as this question says, explains various types of meditation techniques, and what the question tells, without jhana, again can you repeat it?
Which one was it? Sadhika condition to achieve.
Venerable Sir, please advise us, what can the yogi do to attain jhana? How can the yogi attain magga phala with only access level samatha?
Yeah, so I think now it's clear. I mean, you don't need jhana to go to Maggapala. You can use excess concentration, and it is not the excess concentration or jhana ultimately giving you the wisdom. It is the observation. It is the kind of the continuous observation and realization, the impermanent suffering and non-self, and that will lead to dispassion. So that will give you the proper understanding. That is where Buddha says, Yatabhuta jnana dassanam nibbidattaya. So when you see things as they truly are, that will lead to dispassion. Dispassion is a kind of a prerequisite. That's a vipassana jnana. That's a vipassana knowledge. Then it will lead to further dispassion. So likewise, even in Visuddhimagga, various levels of vipassana knowledges are, in line, listed. So if you see at the beginning, it's a matter of seeing the different kind of differentiation between nama rupa paricheda. So what is matter, material elements, and what is the knowledge, what is the knowing, that is the nama. So that's that you are distinguishing that part. Then it comes to paccaya parigga, the seeing the or knowing the causes. Then the Therana with the Udayavaya, and like that different kind of stepwise vipassana knowledges are there. So these are all vipassana, not jhana. So actually this vipassana takes longer time than jhana in that sense, because it takes fair amount of observation, fair amount of patience, and again applying your mind. So that is how ultimately, say, according to the teaching, if when the mind has developed these qualities, say saddha, virya, sati, samadhi, panya, and then even to the bojjhangas level, and it is explained that at a time it may let go completely. Then the kind of attainment can happen according to the teaching. Yeah. So that's all the written questions. So if you have any other thing, so we can have a yes.
Avasarai Swamin Vance, you mentioned just now that about coming face to face with a sensation, not early, not late.
Yes.
Can you please explain that to me?
Yeah. So basically, now suppose this is your object. This is your object, and suppose this is your observing mind. So sometimes this object is here, but your mind is here. Now it is not well synchronized. Sometimes object is here, your mind is here. Still not synchronized. Suppose perfectly when it is plugged, well in sync, in line, without any sort of a missing. So that is coming face to face. So it happens not every time, because mostly we are either late or either early. So we don't have the complete touching, complete face to face focus. When it happens, when that face to face happen, you have a kind of a feeling. You get some kind of a comfortable feeling. And point is, if you are putting too much effort, then you can't maintain it. Then mind go to restlessness. If you are not enough effort, then you can't again maintain it. So it's a kind of a balance. So when this balance properly happens, so on such situation, don't immediately rush to go to the next object, because now you have got a good opportunity here. So just see very closely what is happening till this object ceases, till this object completely disappear. Yeah. On that.
Two questions, Bhante.
Yeah.
When you are putting your mind to the sensations, is it really necessary to be in that same position without changing the position? Yeah.
Position in the sense?
The
posture.
Posture, yes, posture.
Yeah, better.
Yeah.
Because now what we are talking here about the sensation is not a kind of a really torturing kind of pain.
Yeah,
it may be a subtle pain. So at that time you have to pay your attention only to that object, and if you start to struggle with various other things, you lose your attention, you lose your focus. So therefore you are simply maintaining your posture, fully supporting that observation without moving any other thing. Kind of involuntarily things are happening, sensations are happening, feelings are happening naturally by their own, and you are simply watching them without even moving your hand. And when it is there, you are ready, you are already there, you are already ready to observe it.
And the other question is, when you are face to face with the object, you find that it's not light, but you are like absorbed into it. Do you get that kind of feeling?
Only the difference is, now typically the term absorption is used in the samatha concentration, where you have some mind or kind of a perception. You have some conventional perception. Say for example, you say, okay, there's a light available. So that's a mind-made, concentration-built sign. So it's a perception, and you feel it like a permanent thing. And to that you absorb. But here, this object is constantly changing one. Even when it is constantly changing, you are in sync with it. It's very much like, say, target shooting. So in target shooting, if the target is stationary, stopped, or I don't know what's the term properly, fixed. If the target is fixed, that is one way of shooting. If the target is moving,
it's difficult.
It's difficult, and again, suppose you are also moving in the same way, and then you can do it easily. Something like that. So difference is that.
Okay. Thank you.
Venerable sir.
Yep.
Now, when I see the light, I enjoy it,
yes,
but I don't absorb into it. But I feel the pain, then I shift to the pain.
Sorry?
Then I shift, when I feel pain,
yes,
my mind shifts to the pain.
So you are not going into that,
the light.
Into the light.
I like it, but I don't go into it.
Very cunning, huh?
And I get intense pain in my knees,
yeah,
and I observe that it's there, and I feel it very strongly, and then it goes off.
Right.
I keep on looking at it.
Yes.
But when it is too strong, I feel like shifting the posture.
Yes.
Should I have more virya and
be with it? Yeah. So actually, there is no hard and fast rule telling that always you have to go through this intense pain. There is no such rule. That is another. Pain of feeling is one resource for your meditation. But there are other resources as well.
Such as?
So, such as looking at the mind. So, Buddha has mentioned 4 types, no? Kayanupassana, Vedananupassana, Chittanupassana, Dhammanupassana. So, Vedananupassana is something that some people really like, even though it is sometimes painful, and there are many streams of meditation techniques more focused on Vedananupassana, because it is universal and people can do it. But still, sometimes the pain is so intense, we can't be with it. But there are still some really, effortful yogis, they bear it.
Yeah.
Yes.
You break the pain barrier in athletics.
So that's the thing. That's something like that. It is because that pain, if your mind is not concentrated, you might not notice that kind of intensity. But when your mind is well concentrated, this pain is so intense, so it's like unbearable. But if you go through it, and if you simply observe it, how it is changing, and fully immerse in it, fully with it, forgetting about the whole world, and not expecting it to disappear.
Yeah.
So that is the kind of mentally that what we are adding. So we need it to disappear. Since it is unbearable. So if we can remove that mental wish, mental part, and simply be with that pain, then it may becomes bearable. So that is one approach, by the way. So as I said, it is not a must to go through this process. So you can suppose you have fair amount of concentration, and that concentration can be used even to watch your mind. So turning your attention to mind as well. So rather than looking at the pain. So you can simply say building up, suppose are you going through Anapanasati or Anapanasati. So once you build up, you simply relax your mind and simply see what is happening in your mind. So that is also another approach. So because once we build up fair amount of mindfulness, then we have the skill to look at mind. If not, we get deluded by the thoughts occurring in the mind. But once we have enough mindfulness, we can see various thoughts as thoughts without getting deluded by them. So different states of mind appear. Okay, some memories may appear, different emotions can appear, maybe kind of feelings can appear, maybe lust can appear, anger might appear. So they are coming and going. So you are maintaining now kind of a relaxed attitude. But if you are in a very intense type of attitude, then nothing happens in the mind, because you are kind of blocking the mind. So that is where once you build up some amount of concentration, you have to little reduce the concentration. Then only again mind starts to wander a little bit. When it is wandering, then only you are getting the resources for vipassana. Otherwise, your mind stuck in one object, and it is very much like samatha, and you don't have enough resources. Once you little relax it, it may again go in the previous tracks, in habitual tracks, and then you know how it is happening. So you can check whether you can turn your attention to mind as well. Yeah. Okay. It's okay. Yes.
Bhante, so regarding my walking meditation, when I walk, I can just switch the mind to have nothing on the mind. So sometime back you cleaned the Kamadhan and you said in sitting also, you said in walking to improve on that.
Yeah.
So when I start, if I I can just pushing a button, I can just make the mind go blank. I don't know whether I'm doing it right or wrong, but sometimes the defilements come, but if I want, I can just keep looking at the mind. I think to myself, the mind is blank.
Blank, yeah.
Is that wrong?
Yeah. So basically, it also kind of, depending on the situation, suppose your mind now needs some kind of relaxing, some kind of peace. On such situation, you may have to purposely keep the external things away. Suppose you were involved with various activities and office work and whatever thing, and it has cluttered the mind. It has now, build up some kind of tension. So at that time, you can't immediately do meditation, or rather vipassana, because the amount of rate various objects are coming to the mind is so fast. At that time, you need to again little build up the concentration. Again, you build up the relaxing, and it is like, say, what is the term for Pasi in English? Moss. Okay, when moss is there on the surface of the water, you can't see in it. So you need to little remove it to see it, something like that. So that you are purposely doing it, right? You are purposely keeping them away. Similarly, so when you go to walking, so you can watch the mind, and without other things to come and go inside, you build up some amount of blanking. So after you are confident, okay, now you know that the rate is in a possible rate. They are not immediately coming up, but in a slowly they are coming. In a slow rate they are coming. At that time you can again step back and allow them to come. and simply allow them to come and they are going. Allowing them to come, they are going. So, I mean, once you need to build up concentration, you are purposely keeping things away. Once you are confident now you have enough concentration, you allow them to come.
What if you are comfortable with that blank?
Yes.
So is that bad?
No, the thing is, so now this vipassana also has some kind of a concentration. Okay, the vipassana samadhi, the various vipassana concentrations also sometimes it is not, I mean, we can't say blissful, it is so serene, so kind of calming, and you can even attach to that. So because you don't need to really observe things, you like to stay there without doing anything. That is also possible. And when it appears at the beginning, you need to build up that also. So remember, when you are coming to that, so I mean, don't get me wrong, concentration, it is not utterly bad. Okay, when you are building it, you need to build it up. So remember, when you are building concentration, you need to build it. You need to really work hard to build it. But once you have it, once you fairly build it up, so then don't overdose it. So that's the point. And the vipassana, so if you have kind of say in sitting, how long are you sitting now?
I sit every day,
Right.
whenever I get the chance, even 10 minutes, 45 minutes, whenever I get a chance,
So
I go
at
and
that
sit.
time, what is the state of the mind?
State of the mind, it gets very calm, like I don't feel the breath, I lost the breath. You have cleaned my kamatahan before Bhante.
Yeah.
And I can, if I want, I can get the mind blank.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I'm looking at the mind with my mind that
Yeah.
I've been experiencing since of late.
Yeah.
And I see, if like I said yesterday, if I get angry, I know that anger has risen. And then
Yeah.
sometimes the past memories are very intense.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. And then sometimes I watch the sensations.
Yeah.
Then sometimes the blank.
Hmm.
But mostly the blank comes now. Now I prefer walking because mostly the blank comes when
While walking.
Yes.
So it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing because in the sitting, we are little kind of in an artificial situation because we are purposely sitting and it's a very effortful posture, and through effort you can get this blank state easily. But while walking, you need fair amount of work, kind of a natural calming down required for you to come to that level. So it's in a way it is good in the long run, because suppose you are purposely avoiding things and forcefully maintaining, that is one approach. But simply allowing things to happen and naturally cease, that's another approach. So more and more you have to come to this approach, naturally allowing things to happen. Because whenever you are having kind of a dispassion, come patience, still you know that you may not break the precepts, like that. So then you are confident. Even though now mind is with lust, with anger, you know that I am still safe. You can step back and watch how it is occurring and fading away, and allow it to happen naturally. Then you come to a kind of a peaceful state, and it will last for a long time. So in a way, how you can measure your progress?
I can measure the progress, but I've never seen any lights or any, I've never experienced.
Yeah, so you are not in the concentration camp. So that's the thing. So basically, the point is, now suppose when you are building up your capacity, you need fair amount of concentration, fair amount of effort to maintain this kind of a emptiness, kind of a freedom of mind. But more and more you practice with little effort and with some shallow concentration, you can maintain it. So if you can evaluate in that sense, so that indicates that defilements are calming down. So because the defilements are the kind of the bottleneck, they are the opposing power for us avoiding maintaining that kind of a purity in the mind. So when we are trying to maintain some kind of purity in the mind, if the defilement power is so powerful, so intense, they come and intrude us. But defilements are less and less, so we can, in an effortless way and less concentration, you can maintain it. So that way we can evaluate the progress. Yeah. Okay. Sukhi hota. Okay, I think no more questions. Okay, I think we have come to the end of the retreat. So for about 3 days, so we all were gathered here and observed 8 precepts, and even with morality we were able to accumulate a lot of merits. And again we have participated to sitting sessions, walking sessions, and to Dhamma sermons and Dhamma discussions, and this way we were able to accumulate a lot of merits. And some of you involved even in the preparing dana and offering dana also. So all these merits we'll share with all the passed away beings, all the passed away relatives, and all the celestial beings. And again we wish these merits help us also to attain path fruition. While keeping these good wishes in our mind, we'll recite the traditional verses. Ettavatacha amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavatacha amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavatacha amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Akasattha ca bummatta deva naga mahiddika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkantu sasanang. Akasattha ca bummatta deva naga mahiddika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkantu desanang. Akasattha ca bummatta deva naga mahiddika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkantu mamparang. Idang vo ñātinang hotu sukita hontu ñātayo. Idang vo ñātinang hotu sukita hontu ñātayo. Idang vo ñātinang hotu sukita hontu ñātayo. Imina punya kammena mame bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yava nibbana pattiya. Imina punya kammena mame bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yava nibbana pattiya. Imina punya kammena mame bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yava nibbana pattiya. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.